Hi, this is Peter Hanfield with Melissa Global Intelligence. Mailing 101, how to do a mail merge in Microsoft Word. Today we're going to show you how you can get Mailers Plus 4 to work with Microsoft Word and with creating labels or doing a mail merge using envelopes. But before we get started, I want to direct you to, we do have a poll asking you what other topics that you'd be interested in hearing about. Those options are converting different file types to DBF, geocoding, and adding destinations to your mailing so you can enable drop shipping. Some of the benefits of using Mailers Plus 4 is our built-in address check. It increases your address quality in your database with our CAS certified engine. It also does Canadian addresses too, and it is CERB certified, which is the Canadian Post Office's equivalent to CAS. It also has a duplicate check feature. We also integrate our LiftSware into Mailers Plus 4, so it's easy to submit files for NCOA. And we also, of course, have our geocoding. We also started including for free is our RBDI, which is our Residential Business Delivery Indicator, which will help you reduce costs when shipping to businesses or residents, because they could, certain carriers such as FedEx are UPS charged to deliver more to businesses than they do residentials. So this would help you determine which addresses are which. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Mailers Plus 4. And of course, Windows prompts us for to give us access to it. Let's go ahead and open up our database. We'll go to File and then Open. And we'll go ahead and use this file right here. As you can see, this database, this is a pretty simple database. It just has the name, address, suite, city, state, zip, plus 4, and delivery point. It looks like when it was originally ran that they didn't have the suite field in there, so the suite is in the address 1 field. After we're done, we'll go ahead and put it into the suite field. First thing you want to do once you open your database is you'll want to format the fields. There's a couple different ways to do this. You could either click on Auto Format, which if you have standardized naming for your header field, then it'll find most of them. Or you can manually do it. So we'll go ahead and manually do a few of them. So you see full name and then delivery address. I'll go ahead and hit Auto Format for the rest, and it should find them. There we go. We got suite, city, state, zip, plus 4, and delivery point. Before we run it through address check to standardize the addresses, we're going to need to add a couple fields to the database in order for us to produce the intelligent mail barcode when we export the file. We'll go to Database and then Modify. And now we're going to go ahead and insert 3 fields. The first is going to be endorsement. And you want to make the length of this field 30. And the next is, we're going to go ahead and make the alpha version of the intelligent mail barcode. And we'll go ahead and make the length 100. And just so I could show you what the numbers and stuff are, we'll go ahead and do the numeric version too. And we'll go ahead and make that 100 too. You don't actually need the numeric. I'm just doing it for this demo. Go ahead and hit OK. And I want to make my changes permanent. Okay, now I just need to make sure that I format those new fields. So we're going to go to the Presort tab because that's what those are. It'll be endorsement, IMB alpha, and IMB numeric. And let's go ahead and run it through address check first. So we'll go to address check. And we'll go ahead and use the default options to skip previously coded records unchecked, and then we'll go ahead and use the preferred city name and standardize only on the coded records. And we'll go ahead and leave the casing at upper. And we'll leave the name field alone, so it ignores that field. And of course, we want to clear existing +4s, because if it's a valid address, we don't want to have an invalid +4 in there. Clear existing carrier routes, same thing as the +4s. If the address is invalid, we don't want to have a carrier route in there that's not accurate. So we'll go ahead and hit go. And this is just asking me if I want to get the latest Canadian database. I don't want to do that right now, so I'll go ahead and hit click on no on this. And Canadian Post will not fit in the zip code field. Do you wish to continue? Yes, I do. It's because the zip code field I have on here is 5, and it's not, the mailers is not sure if there's any Canadian addresses in here, and the zip codes for Canadians are 6 digits. Okay, we'll go ahead and close this. As you can see now that I added the suite field, all the suites got moved over to the suite field. And now we'll go ahead and run it through pre-sort. And we'll do new mailing. And our post office of mailing is Rancho Santa Margarita, California. It's in 92688. And the +4 is 2112. And for this demo, we'll go ahead and do a standard letter card profit. And we'll go ahead and use the default size and thickness. And same with the mail piece. It will be 4.5 by 9. And go ahead and click on next. And let me go ahead and fill this information out. And I'm just going to make up a grid for now. 5, 4, 6, 8, 3. And I'll just leave the mailer ID as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But you'll want to make sure that you enter in your correct one. That way when you submit your mail.dat files, that it has the correct information there. And I'll put in a permit number, and we'll go ahead and do the imprint as the payment method, and we'll choose NCOA link as our move update method. And we'll go ahead and hit next. Oops, actually, this is where we want the permit. There we go. And we'll go ahead and use the default options in here. So we have mail.dat on. It has our doc sender ID, our contact email, verification facility, and all the other options that we need. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. And we'll go ahead and hit go. It's a pretty small list, so it should go pretty quick. And here's where it created the mail.dat files. And here are our pre-sort results. And it took about 7 seconds. And hit next. And here's where we'll be exporting the list to create the list for our mail merge. We're going to go ahead and click on export. And in order to be able to do the export, you do need to have the file as a DBF file. And when it exports it, it will export it out as a DBF. To make this easy, I'm just going to use the same file name, and then I'm just going to put down what sort it is. So this is going to be for automation, so I'm just going to put it in auto. And I'll go ahead and save that. And I'll go ahead and finish, because on this mail line, I'm only going to mail out my automation pieces. I don't want to do the non-automation and pay extra. I'll go ahead and finish on this. And I don't need to save these as a template. And I'll go ahead and close mailers. Now that I have the file exported and out of mailers, it is right here. I'll go ahead and open this up in Excel, which is right here. Sometimes the mail merge will work with DBFs, but it tends to be a little finicky. So I do recommend that after you export the list, that you do open it in Excel and then save it as a CSV, which tends to work a little bit better. And DBS files, and here is our exported file. And as you can see, it has the endorsement now in there, the alpha intelligent mail barcode, and the numeric one. Now let's go ahead and save this as a CSV file. Let me just change this to comma delimited, and I'll just use the same name because it's a different file type, so I don't have to worry about it overwriting another one. And it's just letting me know that some of the features aren't compatible, and that's fine because. And now that it's saved, we'll go ahead and close this. And now it's asking me if I want to save it again. Since I just saved it, I don't need to save it again. Now let's go ahead and do the mail merge. We're going to go ahead and open up Microsoft Word. And we're going to go to Mailings. And we're going to start our mail merge. We're going to go ahead and do their step-by-step mail merge wizard. And for this one, we'll go ahead and do labels. And we're going to click on Next to start this document. And here's where we choose the layout for the labels. We'll go ahead and use these labels. They're 2x4. I recommend that you always want to use something at least 3.5 to 4 inches wide in order to fit the intelligent mail barcode. And usually about 1 inch in height, but 2 inches was fine also. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. And then we'll do next, which is select the recipients. So we'll use on an existing list that we just exported. So we'll go to Browse. And then we'll go to that list that we exported and saved as a CSV. And here it is. And it's loading. And here it has all the fields and stuff that are in it, and that's all correct. So we can go ahead and hit OK on this. And now we click on Next, which is Arrange Your Labels. There's 2 ways you could do this. You could actually do each item like this, or you could actually just create an address block, which kind of does it. And then it lets you choose exactly how you want the names in there and how you want the postal address. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the individual items for this one. Go ahead and hit cancel on this. And then we go to more. So first thing we want to do is you need the endorsement. So we're going to go ahead and insert that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the name. So we'll insert that. Then address. And suite. As you can see right now, it's putting them all in a row, but once I'm done adding all the fields, I'll go ahead and put them exactly how I want them and how they should be. City, state, zip, +4, and then we're going to do the alpha field for the intelligent mail barcode. And now we'll go ahead and close that. And we hit in between there, enter, enter. Now we want to make sure that there's a space between address and suite. I usually will do double space just to be sure. The city, state, and zip. So let's put a space between, double space between the state and the city, and a double space between zip and state. And the +4, we just need a dash between that. And then we just need to put the alpha field down below. Now, one of the most important things to do is once you have the alpha field in there, you're going to need to just highlight that field, then right-click on it, and then change the font on it. So we're going to click on Font, and we're going to go all the way down to the U's, and we're going to use this one right here, USPS 4CB, and we want to make sure the font size is 16. And we can hit OK on this. And it might look funny right there, but once we update all the labels and preview it, it'll look completely fine. So now here's what we need to update it. So the first label we created, it gets copied all to the other labels. So we'll just click on Update All Labels. And now we could go ahead and preview our labels and hit Next. And here we go. Now we have labels. One thing you could also do, say is that you probably want to do is on the endorsement, is usually they like to some sort of, they want something to make it stand out. So you want to add a few stars and stuff before it. And then we'll go ahead and update all the labels again. That way it's on all of them. And we can preview it. And once we're done previewing it, we can just click Next and complete the merge. And then here's where we could either print it or we could edit individual labels if we wanted to. Okay. I'll go ahead and run it through real quick as envelopes just so you guys can see the difference. Even though there isn't really that big a difference, I'll go ahead and start all over from the beginning of it. Go ahead and close this. And I don't need to save my labels because I'm not actually doing the mailing. So we'll go ahead and open up Microsoft Word again. And we'll go to Mailings. And we'll go ahead and use the wizard again. And we'll choose Envelopes. And then we'll click on Next, starting the document. And here's where we choose what size envelopes that we want. And we'll go ahead and choose these ones, size 10, and hit OK. And then we'll go select recipients, browse, and we go back to our list that we exported. And it's pulling up all the fields again, and we hit OK. And next is we arrange our envelope. And we'll go ahead and add the address block this time. I'll make sure the fields are matched correctly. Okay, there we go. I'm going to make address 2 is suite. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. Well, that's probably not the best spot for the address block if we're sending out the labels because it needs to be in the middle. But before we adjust where it exactly goes, let's go ahead and add the endorsement line. And then we'll go ahead and add the barcode too. And remember that you want to make this size 16 and also change the font to the USPS 4CB. And we'll go like this, and then that's about there. We'll go to about right there. Oops. we'll actually put the barcode all the way on the bottom. Oops, not on the second label. There you go. And a little bit over. Oops. There we go. And here we go. Oops. Looks like I need to adjust where the barcode is because it looks like it's going on to the second one. So let's go ahead and go to the previous stage. And go up one. And we'll go ahead and go to the previous one. And I'm not quite sure why exactly it keeps wanting to put it on the previous line. Let me try one more time. I think I just need to make it so it goes a little higher. Oh, okay. I think I see why. Normally, what you'd want to do is you'd want to put these in this part right here. Sorry, I don't usually use Microsoft Word that often for doing these, so. Okay, so we got that. And let's go ahead and move those over some. There we go. That's about the middle of the envelope. There we go. And now if we needed to, we could also insert, if we wanted to do a, what's it called? The indicia. We could put it in here. So we'd insert, go to insert and then choose one box to use. And then we'd type in all that information in there. And I'll go ahead and take that out right now. And now let's go ahead and preview our envelope. There we go. That looks a lot better. So just remember that when you do the addresses, you need to make sure that you drag it into, there's a separate box on the envelopes that you would want to drag those into, the fields into. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. And I don't need to save my changes. No. And do we have any questions? Looks like we got a couple. Let's see. Does it matter what version of Microsoft Word you use? Not really. I believe all of them all have the mail merge functionality in them. I know the version that I used today was 2010, and I have 2013 on another computer, and I know it has mail merge on there. I think starting in 2003 is when they started including it. So anything before 2003, I don't think it has the mail merge in there. Here's another question. Oh, how did I get to it? Okay. Let's see. That'll be all I did is I opened up Microsoft Word, and then one of the tabs at the top is mailings. And it looks like we have one or two more questions coming in. The next question is, I was asking if it's possible to use this when you do it through pre-sort object or through our mailers online. Yeah, it's the same. You'd use the same procedure, except for that you'll want to make sure that for a pre-sort object, you'll add the sequence number in there. That way, you could sort it by that sequence number before you import it into Microsoft Word and do the mail merge. For mailers online, when you get your return file, it'll already be in pre-sorted order, and it'll have all the information you need to create the barcode and do the mail merge. It looks like the results of the poll are in, and it looks like most people want to see us start covering how to convert files and the geocoding are both tied for. So I'll go ahead and try to schedule those. So please join us when we add those to the calendar. Thank you and have a great day.